Welcome, one and all. My name is Mr. Curly, and this is going to be the first edited video. Just kidding, it's not gonna be. Sorry about the disappointment again. So, as my final week approaches, and basically the first year is coming to an end, I decided to talk about my first year experience in university in general. So, let's start with the thing that I always expected, like had expectations which came from, regular movies and type of thing. I was like, oh, so we're gonna have more friends, there are gonna be parties and stuff, it's gonna be fun, all these things that we always see in a classical teenage movie. And heck, I've seen a lot. So, of course, when the day comes, you're like a little worried, to be honest, especially if your university is in a different country. All the responsibility, you ask yourself, am I gonna be okay by my own? Like all this time you've been with your parents and with your friends, and suddenly you lose all of them. Interesting enough. But it doesn't kind of worry you that much on the day. You're more excited, at least so I was. Then hop on the plane, you come here, rush to your university, open the door of your room, and you're like staring at this blank room. And the first question that comes to your mind is, damn, I'm gonna be spending 4 years here. Wow. And this is the thing that kind of got me in the first place. I didn't expect it at all. And suddenly you're literally no one. No one knows you, no one cares, to be honest. And the first friend you're gonna make is gonna be your roommate. And back in the day when I came here, my roommate was not here, so it was quite fun. The first goal, of course, is remember this if you're not yet in university and will go there in the future. Go there, of course. First thing you should know, if you're going to a university in a different country, or you're gonna stay on your own, your first goal, number one priority, is find where the food is and the schedule. That's really what matters, trust me. And the adventure starts. You start thinking, now I'm gonna be making all these friends and stuff. And the first week, to be honest, is of course like that. No one knows other people, and what they do is you see all these people sitting in different groups every day during like lunch, dinner, always swapping. Of course, in the first weeks, not many people will go to breakfast, like who sleeps. And the thing is, you're also there, you're talking to people, getting to know new and different types of people, especially if you're in an international school like I am. And like then you have a big diversity, and actually you learn a lot in first couple of weeks. But then groups start forming. Now this is where the fun begins, because then it's kind of different, and you're like, what should I be doing next? Well, the funny part is, before you even think about it, boom, gone. And just like, where should I sit? A table has these people from a specific country. B table, second years. And then there's the C table, empty. And you're like, yes, empty table it is. And this becomes a regular thing, actually. So, as a matter of fact, after a while you realize that unless you see those 2 or 3 people that you know, as depressing as that sounds, you always look for that empty table. So it's always the rush. Be the first one to come to lunch, dinner. Otherwise, there will be no empty table and you'll be bothered by people. Or you'll be the one bothering people at this point. So yeah. But the other aspect of it is the parties and stuff. And it's true. It happens actually, like in my university it does. And with the expectations, you all usually get invited, or there's this friend group, there's the pre-drinking type of thing always going on. You have these people showing up in groups, and they usually stick around. They're the people who just go there on their own and make friends there somehow. That's a real skill, to be honest. And then there are people like me who don't go there, or because no one does invite them, or like even if you go there, you're just like, cool, yeah, I better go home now. And that's the problem. Welcome to computer science major. But the thing is, of course, it's not always bad. This is like so far. I mean, if you're studying a science related major, most likely you're gonna be me. Basically, not that many friends, not that many social interactions, and even if you have, it's gonna be about how the class is hard or how you copied something. I mean, that's the general rule of it. But all this staying around, you do realize there's a life outside. That's the true thing we learned in the first week. Break out of your bubble, they said. And yeah, you are forming a bubble, especially the way I do. And you realize there's a life outside after a while. And like, there are people hanging out, people are going to the city, maybe seeing a film or something, and you just see all this happen, and it inspires you, and so you do the best thing that you can and sit in your room and play games and finish your homeworks and stuff. It's just not my thing, for real. I mean, if you blow up in the first week, like, they don't get much first impressions from people, then done. Just forget about it. Just don't even try. No. It's so bad, literally so bad. But it's, again, you stay in your room, and suddenly you have some real friends. For instance, Fork. And like, trust me, there is nothing better than studying at night, because you have a assignment due date, and you have these great noodles to save you, and the fork to save you from any trouble. You can just eat anything. It's amazing. You can't believe like how much personality can you put in an object when you're sitting in a room for like a year. So yeah, I mean, man, it really hurts. And of course, all this aside, like, there is also the noodles part. You learn that real fast, that a best friend for you is the noodles, because I mean, the server is not always open, and you cannot always get food, and you always have these homeworks which are due to the next morning or the midnight, and you of course didn't do them beforehand because you're a great student and you do it last minute. And there's also the coordination where people just ask each other what's the answer. And yeah, that's the best networking I've had so far. It's just, hey, have you solved problem 2? Yeah, but I didn't do 1. Okay, here goes 1, I did it. Then there's this trade. This is just a new way of economy. This trade is, oh my god, Wall Street level, for real. And I mean, as I said, you have the fork of your best friend, and there's like the noodles, which I don't have a new pack, sadly. I have 5 packs, which are empty, so I cannot show you the way I showed the fork. But yeah, but on the serious note though, I mean, it's not that bad. Just because you're not under the spotlight, just because you're not the number 1 guy always sitting with this large group and going out to parties every day and stuff, even if you're just sitting in your room all day like I do, don't have much people to talk to when you're sitting and eating, it's still great. You do eventually make some friends along the way. which is of course troublesome, since if you're not attending the parties and stuff, you're not meeting the social people. And the people who are not social, like that much social, to go to parties or events, are most likely never gonna meet you because they have a different major. And that's the problem. So your kind of people are like out of access for you. So on that note though, the people that you meet and start talking are becoming your best friends. And it's kind of better, in my opinion, of course, to have 3 people that are closer to you and more understanding than 10, 20, which are, just, hey, let's go partying this Friday. Are you coming to drink this Saturday? That type of thing. But remember this one thing. Focus on yourself. Like, stop caring. If you are like me, if you just flew by all these social things, if you're studying anything besides like those social science type of things, you're gonna have no time, most likely. Like if you're planning to properly finish your university, then you will not have much time from your studies. But don't just feel bad about it, or I don't know, give up on yourself. Actually, this is the right time to work on yourself instead. Instead of caring about what others think or what happens to opinions and stuff, you have the right time to think about yourself for the first time. I mean, it's hard, especially when like all the friends you had are suddenly gone. You're completely alone. And apart from that, you have the responsibilities such as the laundry, which is great because you have to do it. And you remember, personally, I remember to do the laundry once I have nothing else to wear. I'm like, oh, yeah, I had to do the laundry yesterday morning. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's fun. It's an experience for sure, but a hard-hitting one. That's true. And it's worth it. Trust me. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's really hard, but it's fun. When you look back at it, all these memories. For instance, once I skipped dinner and instead I had to eat a pack of pills for throat because they tasted good for sore throat. And yeah, I mean, the next day I was happy that I didn't have a disease or was not dead in a way. I mean, of course you will not die from those. I did a little bit of research. Is it possible to overdose on medicine of coughing? I mean, when you look back, it's really fun. But this should not stop you, like me personally, shouldn't stop me just from thinking, hey, I'm just gonna live in my room this whole time. Nothing else. Just my room. Just my dear friend Fork. No. It's the right time to self-improve. And just look at it in the positive way. That's the most important thing. Just always focus on the good one. Even if you're sitting on your own, find a reason to smile. Trust me, it keeps you up. It keeps your spirit up so much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did forget some things here and there, and hopefully I will be returning to this topic one time. But I wish you all a wonderful day, and yeah, see ya.